Welcome to Smalltalk Daily for Friday, June 11th, 2010. This morning we're going to look at two things. How to customize object display both in a UI, so if you want an object to display a certain way, say in a list box, and how to customize the same object for an inspector. Let's get to the UI first. What I've done is I've got a simple class called person with an ID and a name, and a list UI that will take a list of, well, anything really, but I'm going to use people as the example, and stuff them in it. So to get started, what we're going to do is we're just going to open this person list UI on people, and I've created this simple little example method open on people that creates the person class with example, and example, if you look at that, just goes ahead and creates a list of 10 of them with the name Fred 1 2 3 4 5 and so on, and an ID of 1 2 3 and so on. So I've got 10 of them with those things, and then person list UI just takes that and opens itself up by putting the person list having that list. So let's go ahead and do that and see what happens. Well, we get this. Now, the customization comes in because by default, since I haven't given the system any information, it's just showing a person, a person, a person. Not really what I want. You know, in theory, I would have some kind of master detail thing, whereas I selected one of these, a detail form might show up here in another piece of the UI, or I might double click to open it, you know, what have you. What I want, though, is I want this to display some more information just in this list box. Well, it turns out that's pretty simple. We go to our domain object over here on the instance side, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a method. I'm going to call it display string. And this is the string that would normally display when you need to have this thing display itself in UI. You might recall that we do print string and print on. We implement print on for inspectors. Well, display string is what we implement for UI. So I'm going to say something like answer self name. And that'll be fine for that. So now we'll come back. Notice how it stuffed itself into the printing category automatically. That's how the refactoring browser works now. It figures out that if you've got a method implemented in a superclass, in the subclass it should go in the same place. So let's go down here to this and open it up again. Now you notice that this displays with our preferred string. It comes up with Fred 1, Fred 2, and so on. But if I go here to the class side and just do this example method and highlight this and do an inspect, you see I still get this bare bones inspector view of a person and so on. Well, let's leave the inspector open, and what we're going to do is go back to the person class. We're going to go to printing, and we're going to implement print on. And print on is understood by every object, so we're going to do super print on, and the thing that's going to give us is a person, so that gives us the class name. So the next thing we're going to do is stream next put all using stream protocol. I'm going to put a space in there and say self name, and that should be fine. Actually, let's put in a dash there so that it shows some separation. So we'll hit Control S, and now we don't have to reopen this. We just have to change the selection. Notice a person Fred 3, a person Fred 6. The purpose behind print on for inspectors is just to give you kind of at a glance some useful information that you as a developer might want in an inspector without having to drill down into this, without having to select this and say, well, let me dive into this thing and go down a level, which you can also do by double clicking going here. You can just at a glance select this and say, okay, that's the name, because I know how I implemented print on. So what people typically do with print on is put the most relevant information into that in some kind of printable form so that just at a glance they can see things, and then they can dive down when they really need to. So there's two kinds of things you need to think about. For display in an inspector, implement a print on as you see fit. For display in a UI like a list box, use display string and have that thing return something that's suitable for display in a UI. So that's about it for today. Until next time, have fun with Smalltalk.